Good morning, Dr. Diana and fellow friends. Today, three of us, Avvinash, Maxi, and Nuratiqah, will be talking about Artocarpus. Let's just go right in. So, the early times of Artocarpus shows a late Cretaceous origin of Artocarpi tribe in Americas. And there was a split between American and Asian Artocarpi occurred in the Paleocene period. And then there was an in situ diversification of Artocarpus that took place, especially in Borneo. And there was radiation of Artocarpus from Borneo during the Eocene to Oligocene time period, which coincides with Boreal flora and North Atlantic land bridge.
Okay, the next is I will introduce Sundaland. Sundaland encompasses of the Sunda Shelf, southern Indochina, Peninsula Thailand and Malaysia, Sumatra and parts of Borneo and Java. It has been part of the Eurasian continent. The islands of the Sundaland are largely of continental origin. Okay, the next is Borneo. Borneo is considered the ancestral range of Artocarpus, with dozens of in situ diversification as well as dispersal event to the other region of the Southeast Asia. During Miocene, sea level fluctuated. During low sea level, land connection frequently exists between Borneo, mainland Asia, Sumatra, and Java. Higher sea levels allow for isolation and diversification.
Okay, over here we have a map of the native range of selected species. And these are the 6 selected species. The first one, Artocarpus altilis. As you can see, it comes mostly from the region of east of Sulawesi. Artocarpus odoratissimus, Borneo and Palawan, as well as the Philippines. Artocarpus lentifoilus is from Borneo and Palawan, Thai Malay Peninsula, Sumatra, in Indo-Burma. Artocarpus anisophilus is from Borneo and Palawan, Thai Malay Peninsula, and Sumatra. Artocarpus heterophilus is from Borneo and Palawan or the Western Ghats, either one. That was a theory. And last is Artocarpus integer, which is either native from Sulawesi, east of Sulawesi, Sumatra, Borneo and Palawan, Thai Malay Peninsula, and Indo-Burma. So first species, Artocarpus lentifoilus, also known as Kaledang or Tarakutan, spread from Borneo into Thai Malay Peninsula, Indo-Burma, and Sumatra. And we were unable to exactly determine whether it was purely viscerians or dispersal, because there are several theories. And this is from our reference. It spreaded when land connections existed and isolated once sea level rose, or they could have spread through seed dispersal via Asian elephants when land connection existed between the regions. So the tree is up to 35 meter tall, 90 cm diameter, fruits with spines or warts, yellowish exterior with seeds in orange flesh, low buttresses, and the tree has abundant white sap. Second species, Artocarpus anisophilus, also known as Antawa, spread from Borneo into Thai Malay Peninsula and Sumatra. The theory of spread is also the same previously, as you can see. And it's up to 45 meter tall, 90 cm diameter, spreaded buttresses up to 2.5 meter tall. The fruits are spiny syncup, green-yellow exterior with seeds in yellowish flesh.
Okay, the next is Artocarpus integer, or we call Cempedak. It spread from the Southeast Asia to Malaysia and eastward into New Guinea. Because of there is no evidence, so the theory is that same as the Avvinash mentioned before, it spread when land connection existed and isolated once sea level rose. Austronesian expansion into New Guinea. The trees are large, evergreen tree that can grow up to 20 meters. The syncup may be cylindrical to spherical in shape, range from 10 to 15 cm and to 20 cm to 30 cm. Next is Artocarpus odoratissimus, or we call tarap or marang. It spread from Borneo Islands such as Brunei, Kalimantan, Sabah, Sarawak, Palawan, and Mindanao Island. The theory spread is spread when land connection existed and isolated once sea level rose. Seed dispersal via Asian elephants. The tree grows up to 25 meters, 82 feet tall, The leaves are 16 to 50 cm long and 11 to 28 cm broad, similar to breadfruits, but little less lobed.
Okay, the fifth species is Artocarpus heterophyllus, also called as nangka or breadfruit. So it spread from western Ghats of India and common in Asia, Africa, and some regions in South Africa. So the theory of spread is overlay and oversea dispersal. So the tree is large and straight from tree, with height of 20 to 30 meter, and diameter is almost 1 meter. It is cauliflorous, so fruit are generally melon shaped. So the sixth or last species is Artocarpus altilis, which is breadfruit. So it is a domesticated descendant of Artocarpus clemensi. So the species is originated from New Guinea, Maluku Island, and Philippines, and is spread to Oceania. So the theory of spread is via Australasian extension. So the tree height is up to 30 meter, large and thick leaf, abortive flowers, and form a yellow, leafy pulp and mostly seedless.
So for the habitat, first species, Artocarpus lancifolius, is found in tropical lowlands, also found in mixed dipterocarp and submontane forests, grows on hillsides and ridges at elevations of 600 to 1,500 meters, in sandy to clay soils with a pH of 4.5 to 7.5 and at temperature ranges from 21 to 37 degrees Celsius. So for Artocarpus anisophilus, it is in mixed dipterocarp forests on alluvial sites near rivers and streams, but also on hillsides and ridges up to elevations of 700 meters, on sandy to clay soils, also on limestone with a pH of 5.5 to 7.5 at temperature ranges of 22 to 38 degrees Celsius.
Okay, the next is Artocarpus integer. Habitat type mixed dipterocarp forest. They occur mostly on ridge, the elevation up to 500 meters. Soil type clay to sandy soils and pH 4.5 to 6. The temperature range 22 to 38 Celsius. For the Artocarpus odoratissimus, habitat type secondary and evergreen forest. The elevation up to 1,000 meter. Soil type deep well drained alluvial, sandy or clay loam soil, and the pH 5.5 to 75. Their temperature range 27 to 35 Celsius.
Okay, so for Artocarpus heterophyllus, its habitat type is evergreen forest with elevation 400 to 1,200 meters. So the soil type is deep, well-drained and alluvial soil, and pH is between 5.5 to 7.5. The temperature range is 24 to 28 degrees Celsius. So for Artocarpus altilis, habitat type is tropical lowlands with elevation below 650 meters. Soil type is deep, fertile, well-drained and soil, and pH is 6.1 to 7.4. Temperature range is 21 to 33 degrees Celsius.
So for reproduction strategies, as we can see, Artocarpus lancifolius and Artocarpus anisophilus have about the same, which is common pollinators such as nectarivorous bats such as Aspelia, M. minimus, and M. sobrinus. Also includes insects and the seed dispersal agents, important ones such primates such as gibbons and long-tailed macaw. Next.
Artocarpus integer pollinated by diverse natural insects. The common pollinators, moths, flies, and beetles. For example, like scrap beetles, knot moth, and gall midges. For Adoratasimus, pollinated by diverse nocturnal insects, common pollinators, moth, flies, and beetles. For example, like sap beetles, snuff moths, and small fruit flies.
For Artocarpus heterophyllus, it is pollinated by wind and insects, and for Artocarpus altilis. It is pollinated by insect too, and agent is honeybee. Okay, so all Artocarpus species tend to exhibit gregarious fruiting. The two reasons why is because successful pollination. As Artocarpus species are monoecious, so they cannot self-pollinate. Simultaneous flower blooming increases chances of cross-pollination. Second is seed predator situation. So there will be more than enough food for seed predators such as squirrels, rats, and langurs, leaving behind a number of seeds that will survive and possibly germinate. Okay, so for hybridization, it is possible to interbreed species of Artocarpus. One important example is the non-chem, which is a hybrid between Artocarpus heterophyllus and Artocarpus champedans. So the non-chem fruit is more larger and sweeter, more flesh, and has an attractive, intense orange color. Non-chem flesh resembles Artocarpus heterophyllus, but the nutrient components were closer to Artocarpus champedans.
So these are our references that we use. And lastly, questions and answer session. So anybody have any questions, you can ask us now. Okay, then thank you very much.